Holy moly, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting absolutely one of the best semi-final in the World Cup, at least in my lifetime, to be honest. For the first time ever, the ranking, you know what I mean? If you look at it, the whole time, everybody basically picked, I mean, even for me, my brackets, right? I have, at the beginning of this, I said I'm with France, Spain, or Argentina was my horse, right? They were my black horse. So, and they're all still in it. And if you look at the ranking, you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, all the top four rankings are in the semifinal. So technically we have the top four best national teams in the world right now playing in the semifinal. Oh my God, the numbers is gonna be crazy. I'm just saying these numbers, we have never heard of them. We're breaking numbers this year. That's what I'm saying. We might be hitting Billy each of these games, to be honest. That's how much hype is being created right now. Okay, so let's just get into it. Argentina comes out, they beat Switzerland, and again, the same thing that they've been dealing with since last World Cup. You get what I'm saying? These guys are, I mean, they have so many players, and it seems like whenever the game starts, they're in the mindset like, yeah, we'll win. We'll win. It'll just happen. So they get a little lazy. The game very slows down. Some of the chances they take is just like, it doesn't work out. They can hardly aim at the goal, right? They can hardly aim at the goal. It includes Messi as well. You know what I mean? But some way, somehow, they come through. The football gods, they want them to come through. There's been a lot of controversy in the last game that the Switzerland player simulated a foul, right? He simulated that foul, and it resulted in Perez getting a yellow card. Now, the new rules is if someone gets a yellow card unfairly, now VAR gets involved, and it can be overturned. And in this situation, the player already had a yellow card, and he simulated a foul, a false foul. So they looked at it. They took the yellow card away from Perez, so therefore they had to give him a yellow card. They had to do it. So he got a red card. He was out. Obviously, this goes more into the conspiracy that this whole tournament was made for Argentina to win again, specifically Lionel Messi. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what happens. That's what happens when you're the great. You know, you got haters. Think about it. Ronaldo is the most followed person in the planet. You think his fan base is happy with Messi winning World Cup again? How many of them are involved in these conspiracy? Think about it. But anyway, anyway, put that aside. Argentina, nevertheless, again, because of that, it helped them tremendously. You know what I mean? They scored the first goal in that game, and the whole time they were just chilling, and then eventually Switzerland gets a great goal, and now they were in the backs. Now, Switzerland was playing better, to the point that I'm like, why is this guy not making changes? That seems weird to me. Why is he not using all these Argentinian players that he has? I don't understand. Regardless, as the game went on, when that red card happened, you can just see that it was inevitable that Argentina was going to win. You just had to wait. And you waited, and eventually Julian Alvarez wakes up and gets a crazy goal. And then Martinez kind of makes it 3, and it was pretty much over. Lionel Messi didn't even have to do anything. You know what I mean? He assisted the first goal, great. But majority of it was someone had to come out with a crazy goal because Switzerland was defending wonderfully. They were defending with like 6 in the back. There was no space for Argentina to go through. No space at all. They needed somebody to show up, and finally Alvarez really showed up. That's what they needed to crack the code. And after that, you know, it was pretty much over. And then on the other side, we had England play Norway. That game was a little wobbly, I would say. You know, there's a lot of calls, you would say. But nevertheless, you know, this England team is showing that they have Bellingham. That's what they're showing us. They're showing us that whatever happens, Bellingham's going to come through. Bellingham has been the best player for them, right? He's the one who's been saving them. This is the second game where he single-handedly saved them. The Mexican game, yes, he dig in. He got them out. Same situation here. I mean, the second goal was scored at the 93 minutes of the game. Extra time. The guy is a superstar, man. The guy has a maturity that he's been doing this for years. Norway played way better than I expected. And now England plays Argentina. Now, this is a pretty big deal, just in the sense that there's a history behind it from just holding on grudges. So they're holding on grudges on these gringos, they would say, right? And I think they're using stories that happen, the hand of God. They have a history together. And the fact that Lionel Messi has never played England just adds more to the spice, more entertainment to it. And then you have all these England pundits, all England players. Obviously, if you ask them who's going to win, they're going to side with England, which would just make sense. Obviously, that's their country. But they're pushing a little bit too far. They're forgetting what they're dealing with here. You get what I'm saying? They're like, this Argentina team, oh my God, we're gonna spank them. Somebody said we're gonna spank them 2-0. This is nothing. I mean, I just like to tell them to calm down. Remember what happened in America, guys. And I understand that this England team is nowhere near comparison to America team. Obviously, they're really good and they have a great chance of actually winning this whole thing. But nevertheless, let's not forget you're playing against Argentina, and I just told you. These guys are using, what is it? Injustice, as they would use. When people use injustice power, you don't want that. You don't want that. And then these Argentinian players are very rough as well. So it would be quite interesting. And I generally don't even know who's going to come out. But obviously, I have to stick to Argentina. You get what I'm saying? I get the people picking England, rightfully so, because they have the better talent. But bro, we're dealing with the football gods here. That's what we're dealing with. So I'm gonna say Argentina's gonna come out, no doubt about it. That's what I think. Okay, and I see that a lot of people are thinking about how terrible as Argentina has played throughout the tournament. You know what I mean? But so did England. Like, you know what I mean? Without Bellingham, they would have been out themselves. So these are two teams who straggle their way all the way here. We'll see who really wants this. On the other side, we have Spain and France. That's who came out. Spain and France, guys. Spain and France came out. And they beat Belgium handsomely. I mean, yes. And the good news for Spain in the Belgium game is that Nico Williams came and played a little. And so that means my boy is playing on the next game. So technically, we're basically these are the same team that played against each other in the Euro. Okay? So Lamar is being interviewed. There's a lot of interviews going around. The story is behind these two playing against each other is that some of the Spaniards in general are saying that these guys, the story. This never dies. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. They're saying that these French guys, since they're, by the way, half of them are like half French as well. But people always jump into the African half of these French players, and again, all these French players were born in France. What are you talking about? They don't know anything else about France. They're French. It's so the Spaniards are saying these guys are not even French. They're like Angolan. You know what I mean? These guys are pretending to be French. Make no sense. So I was happy to hear some of the players are pushing back, saying that, what, dude? If you put on the jersey, you're France. Like you're representing that country. Stop with this nonsense. Which it is nonsense. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Anyway, are the French gonna use that as a fuel? They have to use that as a fuel, dude. Every time injustice fuel it's real. And I think just because of that, that's why I think the French could come out of this. The French lost against them the last time. That's one. And now the insult about these players not even being French. This team is a favorite of the tournament. And you're going to give them fuel like this? I don't know, man. And on the other hand, though, Spain, again, they have their weapons on the both sides. Lamar has not performed this whole tournament to the best of his ability. But I think he's going to show out. I mean, I think he has something to prove. This kid always wants to prove something. And then on the other side, you got Nico Williams. You get what I'm saying? So, and in the mid, it looked like they've been just cruising. They've just been cruising. No injury is what I'm saying. So, and they only conceded one goal. Nevertheless, they're going against Kylian Mbappe, who's trying to get the golden boot. You know what I'm saying? So, again, another big bluster game. Don't miss it. Be there.